course, while I wait for everybody to come back, I'm going to go ahead and fix my setup a little bit. Okay. Oop. Okay. Wait for everyone to come back. Yeah. Hello, Brenda. I gotta figure out what is going on. Every time I plan a stream in advance, the screen orientation always does this really weird thing. Yeah, I do feel better. I mean, physically, whatever happened with my stomach the other day, it's okay now. I think what happened was I talked to a friend who used to work at that restaurant, and she asked me what I had, and so I told her, and we kind of pinpointed it might have just been the oil that they used to fry the food. Sometimes if the oil's not super fresh, if you already have some sensitivities, I guess it can make you feel kind of okay. All right, we got a whole bunch back in the chat. Hello and welcome. We have Brenda, we got Rose Blue, we got Craig, and we got Barbara. All right. Yeah, I had a little bit of trouble getting my butt in gear today. Yeah, I don't think it was full-on food poisoning though, because I went to supper with 3 other people and they were all totally fine, and my partner and I ate pretty much the same food. So it wasn't that there. It just might have been something either I was intolerant to, or my body's already a little bit sensitive, so could have just been something harmless like that. But it did knock me out. I was pretty tired for a couple days there. All right. I'm just gonna get a couple more things set up. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Got it set up a little better so that I have, just in case, because for whatever reason, technology and streaming from my mobile device is very difficult. So sometimes the chat function, when I'm streaming just from my phone, the chat function disappears. So I had to just set up my laptop anyway, just in case. But I think we are good now. I'm gonna put my computer up here a little closer. There we go. Okay. I saw a few of you were already leaving requests on the other stream. And I think Brenda had one. Full disclosure, guys, I'm not at 100%, and it's not because of me, what I ate or didn't eat or whatever the other day. I have an autoimmune disease, and it usually doesn't cause me a lot of problems, but I only found out a few months ago that I had it, right? So we caught it quick, it went into remission with treatment, and now I'm like flaring up again. And so that's been kind of rough, and it actually really ties in with my mental health. So yeah, I'm not like feeling 100% like peppy and perky emotionally, but it's okay. I am happy to be here. I not only could use the distraction, but excuse me, but also the connection with my community, and this connection with spirit and getting readings and stuff done today. I think it will be really good. But yeah, just letting you guys know, like, I'm all right, but I feel kind of off. I'm gonna have a little bit of my coffee. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I like Brenda, you make a good point, like, could be the changing of the seasons and stuff, because here in Canada, we finally, at least where I am in Alberta, we finally got this big dump of snow. And we had a few dumps of snow before, but it all kind of melted away real quick. And so yesterday we got like this massive dump of snow, and it's actually sticking around and still snowing. So maybe there's something, you know, could be something to do with that as well. But yeah, anyway. Thanks for the hug, Rose Blue. I appreciate that. So what I think we're going to do, we have Brenda. And I remember her question from the other stream that we tried setting up. She was wondering if the manager was going to leave. We have here Alice. We're going to start with just 5, I think, personal readings, and then go from there, okay? Usually we're doing like 7 to 10, but I think I just want to try doing 5 for now. Okay, and then Alice is wondering if anybody has any messages. And okay, path to follow. Okay. All right. As you can see, I brought my singing bowl today. I love it. I've had this for, it's been many years now, actually. This is it's a red one now. It is supposed to be a root chakra bowl, cleanse the root chakra. And I just kind of use it for general cleansing because this is the only singing bowl I have. And I'm a huge believer in using what you have and your intention being much more powerful than the equipment, than the tools that you have. So I was going to just, before we begin, I'll get a couple more people added to the queue. And then I thought we'd do just a little like small little cleansing, I guess ceremony might be the right word, but a small little cleansing and healing practice with the singing bowl. Oh, you know what, Barbara? That's a good, I haven't actually like messaged or talked to Jen Lynn in a long time, but I really like her and she's a very good reader. I didn't know that she did healing stuff too. That's awesome. I'm going to have to get in touch with her. And like I do Reiki and whatever, you know, for myself, but sometimes you just need a little bit of that little bit of extra support, you know? Okay, so Lady Silver is wondering if her grandmother Gaga, aka Molly, has a message. All right. Okay. And Terry Suzuki does healing too. Okay. I'm gonna actually write this down. Jen Lynn. And then Terry Suzuki. Okay. I know you meant does. I did kind of have to laugh at your typo. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, Jen Lynn and Terry Suzuki both do healing. There are a bunch of really good healing practitioners. I might also get in touch with my girl Adrian, Red Lentil. I want to see if Tony from Shining Hawk still does her shamanic practices. Okay. All right. So Imelda's looking for a general reading. It's great to see so many of you guys back from, excuse me, got the hiccups there, from a previous stream, from like all the previous streams I've been doing. And then Tony Harmon. is wondering, okay, do my guides have any messages for me? Am I making progress? Okay. Sure, let's take a look at that. Okay, that's 5, and I did say I'm just gonna pause the queue at 5 for now. And then once we're done that, we'll see where things are at, how I'm, feeling and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. My pen. We have our singing bowl we're going to use. I have the Bob's Burgers tarot today. I have the One World tarot. Oh yeah, Barbara was asking. That's right. I did miss your first one. Does your spirit team? Okay, so we'll do 6, and then we're going to close the queue after Barbara. I did see your chat on like the other stream, the one that lasted like 10 seconds there. So yeah, I will write that down. Spiritual team messages. All right. Okay. Anyway, first and foremost, if you like the Wild World tarot, and I've been playing Animal Crossing lately, and there's a game in the series called Wild World, and I have no idea. That's not even the Animal Crossing that I've been playing a lot of, but the One World tarot, oh my gosh, an Animal Crossing tarot would be really cute though, but the One World tarot, if you like this deck and you've seen me use it before in readings and it's something that really like jumps out at you and you're like, holy crap, I want that, you can find it on Amazon. I don't remember if I actually have the links in the description, but I am going to do the thing where you do the shortened, the URL shortener, and then it'll fit in the description better. I'll be able to do that. You can find this on Amazon. That's probably, I would say, the quickest way to get it, especially if you're a Prime customer. Yeah, created by Lena Rodriguez. Please check her out. She is a very talented reader and an amazing tarot teacher and just very intelligent and just an awesome person anyways. So created by her and me, and then illustrated by Alexandra Philippek. Absolutely go and check out. She is on Instagram, I think. I'm going to have to put a link. I'm going to have to put all these links in the description. Anyway, that's the One World Tarot. You can find that. It is available for purchase. We have that. I also am wearing my Otter Spirit bracelets today. And if you like those, I will put a link in the description. I don't have the link in the description right now, but I will put the link in there later on. But you can actually find the link. If any of my moderators maybe have the link, it's an affiliate link. So when you use that particular link, oh my God, I've said link so many times. Anyway, when you use that particular link and make a purchase, you'll get a discount and I will get a little bit of commission. So it's helping you, but it's also helping me. Anyway, let's, get all that stuff out of the way. We're going to do a little bit of healing stuff. Lady Silver's asking, why don't I do live collabs with Lena? I don't know. Well, to be fair, I did go on hiatus from YouTube for a while, right? Because I had, before I quit my job, I had way too much going on. So I didn't have the energy. Yeah, I should maybe get in contact with her. Some of it too is she still does a lot of political readings and I do not do those anymore. But I wouldn't mind just collaborating with her for like personal readings like this, or, maybe like teaching basic tarot or something like that. That is a really good idea. I should get back in touch with her. And, you know, sometimes figuring out time zones is kind of fun. She's in Australia and I'm in Canada, so we have to do a little bit of a little bit of math. It takes a little jiggery pokery to get the schedules to line up, but I would actually really love to get in touch with her and work with her again. All right. Yeah, here we go. Healing. My little mallet's rolling away. I just wanted to take this time at the start of the stream to take a couple of deep breaths, and I invite you guys all to join me with this. I'm gonna just close my eyes and take a couple of deep breaths and invite in the purest, the highest and most loving beings on my spiritual team to come be around me. I invite the highest and most loving and most helpful members of the spiritual team of every viewer who's watching this, whether it is live or it is on the replay later on. I invite in the peace and the patience and the love of, we have our Archangel Metatron, the healing, the patience, and the love of Kuan Yin, of Christ, of Archangel Michael, the healing and the love of Archangel Raphael, and we call on others from our spiritual team who are here to guide us and help us today on our journey and on our journey through life. I ask for healing energy to surround each and every one of us who's watching this, to surround us outside and in, to sit with us, to give us comfort, to heal our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies, all of those different layers of ourselves. And so it is. Volume warning, maybe, but anyway. I call on the beautiful and ever-present healing, guiding, loving, and protective energy of Spirit to surround us and remove all energies that do not belong to us, remove all energies that harm us, remove all energetic influences that are not here for our best good, and replace these things that are being removed with love, light, peace, and health. And so it is. I'm going to just go ahead and move that over to the side. Okay, and we're going to get started with Brenda. Do you have a specific preference for the deck? I remember you really like the Bob's Burgers Tarot. So if that's one that you want to use, just let me know if you want to use the Bob's Burgers Tarot or if you'd rather use the One World Tarot. Either way. We also, on top of our tarot decks, we actually also have the Moonology Oracle. I have been using this Oracle deck in every stream and every video that I've been putting out lately, because I love this deck, and I'm not an astrologer, but you don't actually have to be an astrologer to be able to use these cards and to understand and get a benefit from the messages. And also, just look how beautiful these are. I love these colors. They're so pretty. I love the outer space kind of aspect, especially I love this color. It may not show up quite as well on camera, but it's just this gorgeous like magenta and purple and blue kind of fused together. I love it. So we are using those, and we're also using our runes. I have been loving these runes, and my sweet loving partner got those for me, and I have been obsessed with them ever since. Okay, Brenda's wondering if we could use the One World Tarot today. And absolutely. I like to have a couple of decks on hand just, you know, for options. But we're going to use the One World Tarot. And we're going to shuffle. And I know Brenda was wondering if her manager will leave. They're having some issues. And there we go. Sorry, I had to readjust my setup here. There. Okay, there we go. Yeah, having some issues, and, you know, obviously it just seems like things are not working out. Things are just... Let's see what's going on here with that, Spirit. Will this person leave? You know, without getting to, like, third party... You know, we're always going to have that boundary there. Anything that is not okay to publicly know, Spirit's just not going to bring up. But here's what we can publicly know. And out of the cards that we have that fell out, I don't know for sure about, like, fired. There's something here with the Lovers card about, like, tenure. There's also, like... Yeah, with this Lovers, like, they're just so tightly knit into the institution here with the Hierophant, literally that card for, like, the institution, that it's going to be hard to permanently get rid of this person. However, I do think they're going to be placed on some kind of leave with this Four of Swords, like some kind of... And it's going to be longer than 4 weeks, because I know usually with timing swords are weeks, this is 4 weeks, but I have the feeling this is going to be longer than 4 weeks. Perhaps in the next 4 weeks, this person gets placed on some kind of leave. There we go. But let's see what else is going on here. I'm getting like the word ingratiated. What is that? I think I know what it means, but like I get the gist of it. But yeah, there's something about like this person's been so like deeply ingratiated into this institution. There would be a lot to untangle and unravel when it comes to getting this person to be permanently gone. But there is something about leave. What's going on about this leave? Oh, well, okay. Actually, somebody's looking at options. Who's looking at options? This manager could be looking when they go on this leave. And I don't see pentacles here. I'm not seeing this as necessarily a paid leave either. So it's not like it's going to be a holiday for them. But I do see them looking at their options, like maybe looking towards other jobs to apply for. Yeah, and other work and other projects. Yeah, this King of Wands, I think this is representing that manager. He is looking for, and I'm saying he because it's a, king. And I did see in your comment, you said he's a fake. Oh, right. So he's going to be looking for, yeah, potentially other places to work. But I also feel like this institution is like, they're starting to look towards like replacing this person, but it's just, they can't do it just all at once for whatever reason. It's just, there's something that's too messy right now. So let's take another look at that. I had one of my cards flipped out backwards. I think it was the Eight of Pentacles, but we'll see. Yeah, it was. Okay. It might cost a lot for them to get rid of this person. That might be part of why they're looking at their options. Well, we'll put this person on leave. You know, maybe he'll leave on his own accord. But then they're also working out like, well, if we do want to replace him, like, how are we going to get started on that? Where do we begin? That's what I'm picking up. It's like, where do we begin with that? Queen of Wands. Ooh. Ooh. She's important. This Queen of Wands person is like one of the catalysts for this particular manager person being put on leave. And this leave, like the energy, like it does feel like a punishment. Yeah, because whoever, you know, this person, this woman here with this Queen of Wands, she's not backing down. And okay, she's like really gonna fight for having this manager be put on leave. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, bottom of the deck, there's justice. So whatever it is that he's doing right now, he's not getting away with. I'm gonna shuffle. So I see that in the next little bit, yeah, there's that like suspension or something. That's like the energy that it feels like a kid not being expelled from school, but kicked out temporarily. Oh no, you know, of course, for some kids that get suspended, they treat that like a holiday. Oh, I don't have to go to school, but they actually do suffer quite a bit academically. And now for this person, you know, it might be like, oh, he's just put on leave. Oh, he's going to treat that like a holiday. Well, whereas a kid that's suspended suffers academically, an adult who's been suspended and like forced to go on leave from work, they're going to suffer financially, right? Because that's going to be time that they're not paid for. I want to ask Spirit. Okay, we got the star that flipped out. We'll keep that in the deck though. I'm going to ask Spirit. Whoa. Will this person ever permanently be gone? Because it seems like for the short term, no. But, you know, let's take a look at just kind of longer term future. Will this manager ever permanently be gone from this institution, this company? Well, Eight of Swords. I'm not going to like make too grand of an assumption here, but the first thing I thought of was like imprisonment. So I'm not saying literally for sure he's going to go to jail for something, but it's like he's like really, there's some kind of, there's legal repercussions for him in the future, and it's going to keep him. You know what I think though? I'm also getting like barred from the industry. So even if he does like try to apply at other similar companies or institutions, they're going to know about him and be like, no, there's some kind of like blacklisting energy here. So weird. I got like that imprisonment was like that first word that came in. Let's clarify. Something that's hidden right now that nobody is really seeing or knowing about could be if he's doing anything illegal. I don't think it necessarily has to do like with the job. It could be something he's doing outside of work that is going to just be another like black mark on his record here. But I'm definitely seeing like blackballed from the industry. You know, like another image Spirit's giving me is like a disgraced Hollywood actor. Somebody who fucked up so bad and got canceled so hard for what they did. And not like rumors. I mean, like something they actually 100% did. It's proven. There's conviction or you know, whatever. And they're canceled so bad that you never actually see them again on screen. And like you don't even really see them again, like online even. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling here, which I suppose could be seen kind of like an imprisonment. There's that lack of the lack of being able to do what it is that you like and want to do, and being restricted. And just, yeah, there's just this feeling of eventually he's just not going to be welcome. But it's going to start with leave. This, I feel, is quite far in the future, the blackballing from the industry. So I'm not seeing firing yet, but the company or the institution is thinking about it. It's just that it's going to be very difficult. I wonder if they put him on leave and then use that time to like discuss his behavior and his performance and whatever, like this Queen of Wands person, like whatever their case is against him or against somebody that is like deeply connected with him. Anyway, and they're going to take a look at like, well, how does that reflect on our company? How does that reflect on our values? Do we want somebody like this in our environment? Do we want somebody like this to contribute to our company's reputation? Again, Spirit wants me to go back to the disgraced actor analogy, where a lot of times, even though maybe a lot of time had passed or whatever, a lot of agents are like, no, I'm not going to risk my reputation by hiring this person again. I'm not going to risk my reputation by vouching for them or sticking out my neck for them. It's just not worth it. It's just too risky. And I feel like that's what's going to happen to this manager in the future. Ooh, that is pretty spicy. That is some spicy. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to do Moonology. Just for any extra information. I just get the feeling that it won't be long before this person is like out of your hair. There was like way more tea here than I anticipated. But some of this is what we're here for. All right, okay. I'm being drawn to, it's this particular one in the middle here. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Now it is not Libra season anymore, but win-win outcome. And but I'm drawn to the justice balance scales. Maybe it's a win-win for a win for you because you're no longer dealing with this person, but then there's something about win, like karmically it's a win. Could be a win for others in this environment who are being affected by this manager, and perhaps like whether it's their bullying or their incompetence. I did see your comment in the chat saying where he really doesn't do anything. He's like, he's one of those. Excuse me, I'm just rearranging my thing here. There, now we can see a little better. So like maybe a win for the company or for that workplace, because it's like, okay, we're eventually going to get rid of some dead weight. But yeah, just something about like a win, like karmically. This is going to be weird. Okay, here's a weird, really, really weird perspective. But Spirit wants me to share it. It's also kind of a win for this guy. And that seems weird because, he's the one that's acting like a real POS, not doing what he's supposed to be doing, perhaps even actively harming the company or others that are in the company, right? But there's some kind of like a karmic reality check with the consequences he'll eventually get. He's going to be forced to examine himself and his behavior and how his actions actually have consequences. I don't know really anything about this person's life, but what Spirit is letting me share with you guys is that this person has gone through the majority of their life getting away with stuff. I'm hearing the word scot-free. So yeah, a lot of like trouble or issues that he got into. And I'm seeing this goes back to his youth. It starts off with, oh, boys will be boys, when they're 4 years old. And then it's like, oh, well, you can't prove he actually did that. And I'm seeing that this is like when he's a little older. And I'm just seeing like, oh, well, my child would never, my son would never. And then I don't know about the socioeconomic background he came from, but I'm seeing something about like throwing money at the problem to make something go away and like paying away consequences. But it's finally catching up. There is finally like an actual consequence that he cannot get away from this time. And this is going to be imperative, just absolutely paramount for this person's spiritual growth and development. So it's going to, on the surface, be a really dark thing, dark time situation. It's like, well, again, with the spirit wants me to go back to the disgraced actor analogy. Okay. Where to everybody on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, what a shame. He can't work in the industry anymore. Or it's like, well, he had it coming. That's what he gets. Maybe that's not a bad thing for this actor. Maybe not being in the industry, again, still going with this analogy, would give this disgraced actor time to perhaps, for example, go to rehab or get some intensive therapy or some other way in which they can sit down and actually examine their life and their choices and the way that affects people. This manager is going to go through something very similar. Yeah, they're going to be forced to take a long, hard look at themselves and their life and their choices and how everything led them to where they are now. But it's a win for them karmically, should they choose to own up and grow from the experience and use that to try and make better choices for the future. So it's interesting because even the people that really harm us and cause us problems, God still loves them. Spirit still loves them. And Spirit still wants them to learn and grow from their mistakes, from their actions. And I see that that's what's going to be happening here. But it's for the rest of us, like watching, and for everybody that's maybe has to work under him for now, like it's out of everybody else's hands. This is going to be between him and Spirit. And it's going to start with, short answer is he's going to go on leave. And then maybe eventually they'll find a way to actually get rid of him. Then in the future, like he will be gone and will not be welcome in that industry. So that's interesting. Volume warning because runes, they're a little loud when I mix them around. Let's just see what we can get from runes. Okay, we have, and I'm still looking in the book. I'm getting better at memorizing like their names and stuff. Ansus. Okay, so letter A. So I don't know, maybe that's a significant, his name could start with A, or somebody significant in the company to do with this can start with A. God, chieftain, reference to the god Odin. I feel like he's answering, this is going to sound so dramatic, but it's like he's going to be, answering to people, and he can manipulate people, but he's got to answer to God, and he can't manipulate God. And then he's got to answer to himself. Yeah, I think this is like mostly between him and God. After the institution does whatever it is they're going to do, the rest of the karmic lesson, ooh, well, fuck around and find out. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's kind of, he's learning the scientific methods or theory of fuck around and find out. Excuse me. All right. So that is what I have for you, Brenda. Starting off very, very spicy here, but that's not always a bad thing. All right. We're going to go ahead and put these back. We're going to jump to Alice. Alice is looking for messages from her guides, from Spirit, and the path that she should follow now. And I should offer the choice whether you, Alice, if you are still here watching, if you want the Bob's Burgers Tarot or if you want the One World Tarot. I love that the Bob's Burgers Tarot adds a little bit of levity to like heavy things or serious messages, but it is up to you, whichever one you'd like. And in the meantime, I'm going to have a little drink of coffee. Alice says One World Tarot. Okay, perfect. So messages from Alice's spirit guides. Okay. I thought some of my deck was upside down. I'm going to very quickly go through and fix a couple of these. I do read reversals, but sometimes when like half the deck is upside down, it's like, okay, hang on. So we're just going to go through and just double check. I like with them starting all upright. Sometimes things get reversed and shuffling or whatever, but okay, the rest of these seem fine. Oh, there's one upside down. Okay, now the deck is fine. All right. Yeah, that's like, I see where, Brenda, you're saying you're just like totally blown away and just shocked. And like, honestly, I kind of am too, because what I was just expecting to get was like, I thought it was just going to stop with the, like, oh, he's going to be put on leave. I didn't expect it to go even deeper than that. Where it's like, you know, slap on the, I was thinking like, you know, slap on the wrist. I wasn't expecting to, for Spirit to let us find out that it was much deeper than that. But you know what? To the rest of us, like on the outside looking in, not our circus. He's not our clown. So he's going to FAFO. All right, but let's take a look for Alice. Messages from Alice's spirit guides. And is there a particular path that she should follow? Oop. I feel guided to keep that Seven of Swords. We're going to keep it. Okay, interesting. So for Alice, a message that we're getting from Spirit, first of all, is to stop playing small. There's something about like hiding, but it's unintentionally hiding something. Masking, I guess, would probably be the correct term. Something about like hiding your light because you're afraid to shine brighter than you are. I'm seeing the image of like a dimmer switch. You know, where when you slide it all the way down, the light goes off. You slide it all the way up, the light's on full brightness. I'm seeing that you've set this dimmer switch to somewhere in the middle where it's on, but it's not too bright. And when I say bright, I don't mean like not too bright as in like not intelligent. I mean like not shining at its full potential here. Yeah, there's something here about like insecurity and hiding aspects of yourself and just like restraining yourself and holding yourself back, and Spirit saying you don't have to do that anymore. The world. Well, first of all, I'm hearing like you are the whole damn package. Hearing that from Spirit. You are the body, the soul, the wisdom, the comfort, the love, the peace, the joy, the experience. You are the whole damn package. And people, in our world, I'm seeing really need to see this like authentic, full side of you. Something about like sharing your story or sharing your experience with something and not holding back. Like, I just keep hearing something about like the right audience. You're going to be something about you're going to meet with like the right audience. Now, I don't know if that is literally an audience or if that is like people around you who are going to be affected by your experience or your whatever it is that you that Spirit's encouraging you to share. But they need to hear it. Whatever your story is, they need to hear it. And there's something about no holds barred, no censoring yourself. You just say it however you say it and however it comes out. I'm seeing something about like raw, uncut, untempered, like just your full, true self, your experience, sharing your truth, and not worrying about making people feel more comfortable. I see this could be a pattern that could be could be happening in your life, or was something that was like a behavior that maybe started early in life with playing small and shrinking yourself to make people feel more comfortable. Like there's that saying about don't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm, but I feel like this is just, it may have been unintentionally taught to you by people, could have been like when you were a child, you were taught, to be polite and to not make a scene. You don't rock the boat. You make sure it's polite to make sure that the other person is comfortable when you're talking to them, or it's polite to, basically you were kind of taught to like fawn over people and walk on eggshells and be this people pleaser. But I don't think it was taught to you with bad intentions though. But anyway, Spirit's saying you can let that go. It is time to let that go. What else can we get for you here, Alice? Whoop. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. So we started off with our Seven of Swords and hiding perhaps aspects of yourself, or just not being your full true self because you think that will make you more palatable to others. Spirit's saying, first of all, we have our Seven of Swords. Oftentimes this is like considered the card for like deceit or just not being truthful. And I'm not saying that you are being deceitful or not truthful. It's just Spirit saying like, here's an opportunity. You're getting this brand new opportunity to exercise this authenticity. Look how we go from the Page of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. The Page is like, she's doing all right. She's got what she's got. The energy of the Page is much smaller than that of the Queen. The Queen has this larger than life kind of energy. There's much more stability. There's more security. There's more like self-assuredness. And I think Spirit is also just saying like, as you get older, the more secure in yourself that you've become. Yeah, and I think Spirit's encouraging you. Now, I did just see your comment here. You're saying, as I've gotten older, I've started to care less about what others think. Good. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, Spirit's saying, like, they're like patting you on the back and they're verifying, or validating is the word I'm looking for, that you are on the right path with this, that you've grown so much. But yeah, you are the whole damn package. People need to see and hear this like authentic side of you. And it doesn't mean that you have to all the time with everybody, overshare or be like on all the time. But it's just, I think just for the most part, in the personal relationships in your life and in other areas in which you choose to share yourself, of course. Yeah, the people who love you are not going to be bothered by this. And I see that it's a process, excuse me, that's happening now with you, like being caring less about what other people think and not dimming your own light. The people who love you are going to be very happy to see this transformation in you and to see, really, this is an act of self-love on top of everything. Allowing yourself to be seen and be perceived, and allowing yourself to express yourself and to show up in the world in the way that you do. Unapologetically, too, I'm getting. Okay. So yeah, I think that you are on a really good path right now with this. Caring less about what other people think. And like you'd said in the chat, making more me decisions. And it's not selfish either. Spirit wants me to say that to you in case you were worrying about, is this selfish? Is this, because maybe it feels a little bit weird, because if you have spent most of your life being conditioned to make other people comfortable and cater to other people's needs, and to, think less about your own needs, it is going to be a weird adjustment. But Spirit's saying, don't worry, like this is necessary. It's not selfish. It's an act of self-love. Selfishness is when you put your wants over the needs of someone else. But in this case, that's not what's happening here. You're prioritizing your needs. It's not just a want here to not care what other people think. It has become a need. Let's do immunology. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that, Brenda. A time to give rather than take. And it's new moon in Virgo. But when it's like a time to give rather than take, it's interesting because like we'd kind of seen here earlier, where you were conditioned perhaps from an early age to serve others and give to others and to constantly just give and give and give more and more and more of yourself because you were taught that that was the noble and right and, whatever thing to do. But now Spirit's saying it's time to give to yourself rather than take from yourself. Yeah, I love this. Time to give yourself what it is that you need and want. Because every time that we try and fill someone else's cup when we don't have much to give from our own cup, we're taking away from our own energy, from our own comfort, our own happiness. It's time for you to give back that happiness and that comfort and fill your own cup. Give back to yourself. Okay, volume warning, because these are, little noisy. Okay, we had 3. In just a moment, I'm just going to do a quick little thing. I just got to move my table a little bit, and then we'll get right into those runes. I just got to plug something in really quick. Oop. Okay. Now we can jump into the runes. We have, first of all, the Iwas rune. Letters EI. So that could be, you know, something significant to you. Maybe somebody's name starts with EI, Eileen or something. Stability, patience, perseverance, personal power. Yeah, you're taking your power back. And you've been doing that. I do see that as you've gotten older, you have been able to do this. It's become a little bit easier, but Spirit's saying like, now it's really, really time. Now it's really time to give back to yourself and take your power back. I'm trying to get the camera to focus on the rune, but I think you can see it. It's kind of a little, looks like a little lightning bolt kind of. There's also something here about like strength. Yeah, your inner strength. You are, and it just leads me back to that message of you are the whole package. You are more than good enough, more than worthy enough to be here and to serve yourself and your own needs. You've spent a long enough time serving others. Now it's time to take care of you and there's something here about like regaining your own strength through giving to yourself rather than letting others take and take and take from you. Next, we have this little arrow looking rune, and it is called, oh yeah, the Tewaz, letter T anyway. So letter T, that could be a significant letter for you. Maybe I do pick up there's something about like Tuesday. Maybe something happened on a Tuesday or is going to happen on a Tuesday that's quite significant. Spirit's showing me like you're saying no to something. There's something that somebody wants you to commit to, and maybe it is going to be on a Tuesday. And you're actually like, you know what? No, I actually don't really want to. I have other plans. And that's where you leave it. I really don't want to. You don't even have to mention if you have other plans. No is a complete sentence. And I feel like there's something about a Tuesday, somebody wants you to do something and you're saying no. Yeah, balance. There's something here about like balance and self-sacrifice is another key word that actually goes along with this rune. And I see we've gone over that where you've spent enough time sacrificing your needs and your wants for the comfort of others. And I see that you're not doing that anymore. And Spirit's like, good, that's what you're supposed to. There are times where you are absolutely supposed to say no and protect your own peace and protect your own energy. And then next we have R for the Rido rune. And this one is about progress. It's about like the right way to move ahead. And this is Spirit validating to you that you are on the right path. This is a good path for you to take and that you are doing the right things. And they're encouraging you to keep moving forward, to just, yep, you're on the right track. Just keep going. You're doing great. Keep going. So yeah, I like seeing that. You are on the path that Spirit wants you to follow. And those are the messages that I have for you, Alice. I really hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to go ahead and put these back. We're going to jump to our next reading, which is for Lady Silver. Lady Silver is wondering if there are any messages from her grandma, Molly. I'm going to take a minute to just get shuffled. And do you want the Bob's Burgers? Okay, we can do the Bob's Burgers. Yep. I just hear, yay, burgers. Thank you. Absolutely. And you know, just because these cards have like, it's from a humorous show and these cards have a humorous energy, it doesn't mean that they're not gonna still provide powerful messages, right? Messages from Grandma Molly. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have a little sip of coffee, just a minute here. Okay. First, we have the Queen of Wands, and the first message that I'm picking up is about, it's quite similar to our last reading here with the being unapologetic. That word, unapologetically you, or I guess that's kind of a phrase. Unapologetically you comes in. And I see how she's been watching you and, you know, has been looking after you from the other side for quite a long time. And she's really proud of how, ooh, I like this actually. She's very proud of how you are able to just confidently be you. You have, she's saying here, and it's like, it's about you, but it's also about women in general, where like, she's just so proud of the progress. Like, wow, in my day, I could not have done that. I could not have spoken up about that and been taken seriously. But you can, and you do. Oh, like, there's also something else about, oh, I could not have worn that color. I am seeing like there's something about like a red silk, a blouse. I never use that word blouse. I would have called it a shirt, but that word blouse came in. And she's like, oh, I never could have worn that. That would have been too much, too like too sexy, too much, just too. I wonder if your Grandma Molly, I wonder if she kind of like similar to how we had in Alice's reading, where she was maybe conditioned to play small and to make herself energy smaller. I wonder if that's kind of how your grandma, I wonder if that's kind of how Molly was conditioned growing up too. And I don't pick up there was anything intentionally harmful behind it. But she sees how you are confident and how there's like the things that you like to wear and the way that you like to style, perhaps to style your hair and try new things. And how she's like, wow, like she's happy for you she's happy for you seeing you do this, where in her day, she just maybe didn't have the confidence to do that. But there's justice here. There's a balance. She's like, don't worry. Because now on the other side where she is, she's learned what she's needed to from the experience of maybe having a lack of confidence in herself and in her appearance, in her something about her abilities and in her personality. But now on the other side, she's been shown like, you know, you can be who you are, and we love you, and you are supported no matter what, no matter how you present yourself to the world, no matter how you choose to present yourself in spirit. I'm seeing something interesting. She's showing me when that like how she presents herself to spirit. I'm first of all seeing the image of a little orb of light. It's beautiful. This just gorgeous living ball of pure energetic, loving, light, just spirit. It's like God in a ball. And this is her, and how she was sort of presenting herself, at least to me in my mind's eye, for this reading. And then now I'm seeing how she sort of changed, where I'm seeing what is the painting called? The Birth of Venus. And it's the goddess, and she's in the clamshell, and her hair is flowing, and she's not wearing anything, but she's gorgeous, right? She is like a masterpiece. And I'm seeing that your grandma Molly has kind of transformed from this, tiny, beautiful ball of light to presenting herself in like a more like grand and artistic and like a more, what is the word I'm looking for? Bombastic way. So she's like, don't you worry about me. She's very proud of you for your confidence, but she's also saying like, I didn't have that confidence when I was, your age, or when I was younger, during my time on earth, but don't worry about me. Don't feel bad about that, because I have it now. All right. Next we have here the 10 of Cups. In the Bob's Burgers Tarot, the 10 of Cups and 10 of Wands are like, their meanings seem to be kind of flipped. What I have here is her saying to you that she's like, the first thing I'm hearing is, I've got you, baby. I am seeing the image of, this could be a memory from, perhaps from your early life. I'm seeing it kind of played out like a film, like a woman, like perhaps like maybe in her 40s or so, still like quite young, but also very mature and very wise, holding this toddler. And this toddler is like squirming and writhing and crying and kicking, and is just deeply uncomfortable, throwing a hell of a wreck. And this woman's like, I got you, baby. This is Grandma Molly saying to you, like, no matter what life is throwing at you or how you're feeling emotionally, no matter what's going on, could with your emotional or mental health, she's just like, no matter how you're feeling, she's like still saying, I got you. You have a family here that loves you and is here to support you. Oh, it's beautiful. She's showing me, there's something about an uncle. I think could be her brother, but there's, anyway, an uncle or somebody who's on the other side who's like also concerned and likes to check in on you and take care of you. And anyway, your grandma's just saying like, just because I'm not on earth anymore, and I can't be with you in that way, doesn't mean I'm not still here to be with you. So yeah, she's still there. And there's something about like, she wipes your tears. I'm seeing something about she still, maybe when you were a child, she helped treat, like you scraped your knee or something, and she helped to treat it and take care of it. And she's saying, I still help treat your scraped knees. I'll still clean up your scrapes and scratches, and I'll still kiss them better. And I'll still, there's also something about like giving you a treat after. And yeah, she's like, I'm still here to bless you. I'm still here to love you and care for you. I'm still here. You have family that's still here. Okay, Full card shows me that there's some kind of opportunity that either you've been presented with already or you are going to be presented with to try something new after, there's something here about a long time of like stagnation or boredom. Like maybe there's just something in your daily life routine that's sort of become ho-hum, and you're maybe going through the motions and, going about doing what you're doing, but it's like, well, there's this opportunity to try something new. And I'm seeing here with, really with all of this that we've gone over with Molly, she's saying like, do this. She's here to encourage you to do this. Perhaps when she was on Earth, she was a little afraid to take chances and risks. And she always played it very safe, but she's saying like, no, I got you. Again, with that, I got you, baby. And we have the Strength card on the bottom. You will be supported. You will be taken care of. Underneath, I love that. Underneath the Strength, we have the Sun card. There's happiness and joy. She also wants you to know that where she is now on the other side, she is very happy and things are very good. So she wants you, not to worry about how she's doing, how she's feeling, because she's like, it's good. It's all good here. There's something about it's warm here. It's comfortable. There's sunshine. And I just saw your comment where you're saying that you don't have family left here on Earth, and I am sorry, and I do understand that is an inevitability. The longer that we stay on Earth, those who came here ahead of us, we do see them all fall away and go back to spirit, but you are still protected and loved, and that family is still there, and they still are here to comfort you, they're here to celebrate your wins. They're here to console you, for the times that maybe you lose or you struggle. And whatever this new opportunity is, something to just try something new. Yeah, she's saying like, go ahead, go for it. We're gonna make sure you're okay. We got you. I'm seeing the image of a little child who is learning how to ride a bike without training wheels, or is adjusting from a tricycle to an actual bicycle, and how that's a huge deal, right? It's a new thing in a kid's life. It's trying that new thing. It's scary. It might feel very unsafe, and learning how to balance and learning how to control your muscles and stuff in that way. But the adults around are just like, yeah, whoa, they're like celebrating, they're encouraging, they're like really like cheering on this child. I'm seeing the image of this is like Molly. She's holding the seat. And I'm seeing it like it's an old bicycle. Spirit's showing me like it's the banana seat. Like this is how far back the Spirit's like showing me. And Grandma's like holding on to the back of this banana seat and saying, no, you're good. Like, I'm going to keep holding on to this. You're not going to fall. And then eventually she lets go. And you don't realize that she's let go. So you're just going on your way, like riding this big bike, and doing great. And then you realize that you've been doing this all along, and she let go of the seat like 10 minutes ago, and you've just been ripping around. So I'm just seeing like that same kind of concept applies to this new thing in life that you're trying. She's like, the big things that are new that come in and the small things that are new that come in. She's like, I'm going to be holding the seat to support you. And then once you got, yourself on your feet, once you got yourself going, then she's still watching you, right? But she's going to like step back a little bit and observe, but she's still there just in case you fall off the bike, right? So just in case, So I love seeing that she's there for you, that she loves you. There's family that loves you. They rally around you. I'm going to pull a Moonology card now. Any additional messages? And her energy feels so gentle. I'm hearing the word powerhouse and firecracker, that she had that capability to really, like really be, she could really be assertive, and she could be quite, another word that comes like spicy, but she normally was quite tempered and quite sweet, but above all that, like her energy is just so gentle. She's so kind. Any more messages? Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. I mean, is it still Scorpio season? It might be. Anyway, that could be something, there could be something significant. The next new moon, that is in early December, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but that could be a significant time for you as well. Anyway, I have here we have here work through your fears, whatever it is. This chance to try something new, or this chance to do something different, to take some kind of a risk. I think she's here to help you work through your fears. Yeah, when it comes to trying new things in life, of course. But I also think just in general, like there are perhaps core beliefs that you hold on to very, very deeply, that it's like, it's okay to release. And she's here to help you work through that. To perhaps work through any insecurities that you might have about yourself or about your life, or your, whatever your circumstances or position right now in life is. She's here to help you through that. Because she sees how you are this brilliant and like lively, and I keep seeing like the image of like sparks, where this is your energy, and she wants you to continue being like this spunky, that's the word that's coming in. This is like, excuse me, you're very like spunky and brave and courageous self, and she's like, I'm gonna help you. We're going to do a rune, or a couple runes, depending on what comes out. We have the Nauthiz rune, letter N. N could be significant in some way. N, there could be another family member who's on the other side who starts with an N who's significant to you. Could be something about like N, like November. We are into the end of November, but what I do pick up is that you have done a lot of like inner work and made a lot of progress in this month alone. This one is about overcoming conflicts. But there's also something about like holding oneself back. What is the restraint? Yeah, restraint. Where maybe you've spent a lot of time like really holding yourself back, or holding back some aspect of your energy, or really like restraining yourself and playing small and playing safe, and you don't have to do this. It's okay to work through that, to try these new things, and to reach out and step out into like new aspects of your life, or a new area of your life. And then next we have the Awaz rune, which on here it looks like an M, but it's actually supposed to represent the letter E, which is like, I think is really kind of funny. But E or M, again, could be significant. I mean, we have Molly starts with M. But this one is about stability, teamwork, and like trust. And I get this, where I think it really goes back to that message of, she's here for you, and you still have family that are on the other side, that they may not be Earth side now, but they're still there with you, and they're protecting you. They're your team. And they're, it's like, she wants you to know, like, you can trust us. That's something she's saying, is you can trust me, you can trust us. We're here to take care of you. We're here, we're your team. So she's part of your whole like spiritual entourage that you have, and your family that has since transitioned over. They are part of your spiritual entourage. That's there. I'm literally, the image that Spirit's giving me is like, I'm seeing like bodyguards. I'm seeing like companions. I'm seeing like people who provide comfort to you, and people who just surround you with their love and light. So she's been with you ever since she transitioned over to that other side. She left her body, but she never left you. And that's the message, excuse me, that she has for you. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I want to extend a huge thank you to Molly for coming in from Spirit to provide these messages. And we're going to give Molly we're just going to give her the appreciation. And we are going to ask her now to just take a step back because we are going to move to the next reading. And that was for Imelda. Imelda's looking for a general reading. Now, I don't know, Imelda, if you have a deck preference or anything like that, but I think before we get started, I'm going to stretch and I'm going to have a little bit more of my coffee. No preference, she says. We're going to use Bob's again. I love this deck so much. Ooh, these cards are a little slippery. They're great to shuffle, but they are slippery. All right. So general message for Imelda from Spirit. Spirit, what do you have to share with Imelda today that is okay to, share on stream, which is, I would say, public, technically? What is okay to share? What's best for her to know right now? What do you want to share? Okay. Interesting. And funny enough, last time Spirit's like, yeah, read off the bottom, and this time it's like, we're not reading off the bottom. So Hierophant, Ace of Swords, Death. First of all, some kind of, I'm just gonna say what I'm getting. Okay, some kind of diagnosis. And it's swords here, so this makes me think it is mental or otherwise psychological. And it's from a professional. So it could be, from a health professional or a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something like that. But there's some kind of like a diagnosis or some kind of like a confirmation of, yeah, you definitely have this. You definitely show signs of this. But with the Death card, you're not letting it rule you. Now, I do remember from readings that we've done together for you in the past, if I remember correctly, there was a lot going on with like anxiety. And I remember you being quite open about that. And what I'm really picking up is like, you're starting to, there's a shift here where you're going from, I am depressed, I am anxious, to I have depression, I have anxiety. Where you're accepting that, yeah, these, and it sucks. It does suck to have those things, and I completely understand what both of those feel like, and I give you my empathy and my heart there. But you're like, accepting that, yeah, okay, that's part of my experience right now in my life on Earth for whatever reason. It's part of the curriculum, but that's not what I am, and that's not all that I am. I have depression, but I am not depression incarnate. I have anxiety, but I am not anxiety incarnate. And there's something very powerful, transformative about that. Where it almost takes the power away from the depression, from the anxiety, from, or any other kind of diagnosis, or, you know, whatever it is that you were told that you have that's been affecting you. It takes that power away from it. It's still there, but it doesn't necessarily dictate your life perhaps in the way that it used to, or you're able to, Spirit's telling me to bring up, it's from a Ram Dass lecture. I can't remember what it was called or the exact context, but he actually talks about a similar thing that he experienced, where one of his issues that he had was also, I think, was depression. And in the past, the depressive episode would come on and he would dread it, and it would be like, no. Like, he likened it to a knock at the door, and he'd open the door and it would be some kind of a monster, and no, and, would run from it and not accept it and not let it pass through. But then he got to a point where there'd be the knock on the door, the depression monster, whatever, would show up, and he'd be like, oh, hey, depression. How's it going? I just put the kettle on. You want some tea? All right. And just accepted that it was there. And then eventually it went on its way. And it didn't overpower him, and it didn't, it didn't overpower him, and it no longer, what is the word, or what am I looking for? What are the words I'm looking for? But it no longer felt like it would ruin his life every time that the depressive episode would come up. It would come up and he'd be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Or and I'm saying that oh, hello, anxiety. I see you're back. Okay, well, this is how I'm feeling right now. And that's, the elevated heart rate, or the knot in my stomach, or the, whatever other physical symptoms that can come along with anxiety. It's different for everybody. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I see that these are happening right now, and I understand that this is where it's from, and I don't like it, but I will accept that this is just what's happening right now. It doesn't mean that I am this fear. It doesn't mean that I am this sadness or this hopelessness. It just means oh, well, you know what? These feelings they're just here right now. They're visitors that are just passing through. And then it takes that, again, like we said, it takes that power away from the depression, from the anxiety. You accept that you have it, but you no longer identify with it as if that is who you are and as if that is all that you are. Nine of Cups. Emotional satisfaction. I think what Spirit's saying is that, and the thing about these issues, anxiety, depression, etc., and there are other stuff, that we deal with and that you may deal with. Some of these things may not permanently go away. It would be nice if they did. But what I'm getting from Spirit is that when it does come up, when these things do come up, you're able to transform it, I think, a lot more effectively than you were before. With our Wheel of Fortune and our Nine of Cups, you're able to accept that the wheel will turn back around again. And it's not the World card, but Spirit's showing me just an image of the world turning. Another day, the earth turns, does its thing, and another day comes. And then, the sun goes down, and then the earth turns, and another day comes. It's like that wheel. It turns, another day comes. Literally a Ferris wheel here, and what Spirit's showing me is at the bottom here is where you hop on, And it's almost like the depression or the anxiety kind of scoops you up and takes you for this ride. And you're like, maybe in the past you're like, oh my God, get me down from here. I'm going to fall off. I'm going to, this is horrifying. This is like, get me out of here. Make this stop. Now you're more like, oh, okay. I guess I'm on the depression ride. Well, you know what? I've been on this ride before. It's less scary this time because I know it's coming. Oh, look at that. We're at the very top of the wheel. Like we're at the height of the depressive episode or the height of the panic attack or the anxiety or whatever. But you know that it's always going to come back around and let you off again at the bottom at the station. You're able to get back into this place of emotional satisfaction and feeling better. And I think it's a lot quicker than you've been able to do in the past. Security with our 9 of Pentacles. I see the more times that, either we can go with either the Ferris wheel analogy or Ram Dass's visitor analogy, where the more times that these things come up and you accept them and you resist and fight it less, it doesn't mean that you're giving up and just, succumbing to, oh, well, this is depression, so I'm just going to be depressed. What I mean is just not fighting it as in like, well, I'm not going to deny that this is how I'm feeling. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm not feeling this way. So we're just going to accept it and then treat it and do what I need to do and then go from here. And just understand that it will pass. Every time that you go through this kind of a cycle, the stronger you get, the more resilient you become. And yeah, the less and less scary or painful these episodes can become. Anything else from Spirit? You no longer stay curled up in bed. And that's good. And that is brilliant progress. And yep, 7 of Pentacles, I see where you are, this is a practice you've been doing, like, I would think for the last, like, quite a while, because I'm seeing where, yeah, and like you just shared in your comment there, where you are now starting to see the benefits of this, just riding the waves and enjoying the ride, like what Big Steph says here. And it doesn't mean to say that you have to enjoy the depressive episode, and it doesn't mean like you have to like when these things come up, but it just means that, again, it's not ruling you, and it's not dominating you, and it's not controlling you anymore. And yeah, you've just all of these, the progress that you've been making. You're going to keep seeing more and more progress. You're going to get to a point where you're going to become aware, like, holy crap, 3 years ago, I would not have reacted so well in the same situation. Or, like, oh, wow, in the past, maybe there's something that comes up now that in the past you would not have been able to get out of bed. But now you're like, you know what? I've seen this before and I know I can get through it. It sucks and I am tired, but I am going to get up and stretch and put on some clean clothes. It just doesn't control you as much as it used to. We're going to, Moonology. We're going to do a Moonology for you. Any more messages from Spirit? And I have this mental image of, like, it's a line of, like, angels and looks like spiritual beings. Because I'm like seeing angels, I'm seeing orbs of light, I'm seeing, like, Metatron, who isn't even taking on a humanoid type form when we think of angels. I'm seeing, like, there's, like, Christ. I'm seeing there's what is her name? Kali. I'm just seeing all these different spiritual beings, and they're all nodding in approval. And they're all like, I'm seeing thumbs up. I'm seeing like polite, like golf clap. I'm seeing them nodding in approval. They're like, yeah, you are on the right path. You are doing good, a good job. Okay, we have your commitment is being tested. Let's clarify. Time for healing. So I'm just gonna, Spirit, what is it about, what do you mean commitment is being tested? Oh, okay. So it doesn't mean Spirit's like purposely sending you depressive episodes to like test your resiliency. It's just saying like you can use these moments as an opportunity. I think as an opportunity to like, I guess to maybe to test like how far you've come with your progress, to show to yourself and prove to yourself how far you've come and what you are capable of despite these challenges that keep coming in. I see. So yeah, Spirit's like, this is, every time it comes up, it's a learning opportunity. And, you know, it could be like your commitment to recovery or your commitment to yourself and taking care of yourself, your commitment to loving yourself and accepting yourself despite these episodes here that come up. And then we have a time for healing. And I see this is where you've been, I think this is where you've been at for the last little while. I would say at least for the last 2 months. For some reason, Spirit's showing me something about 2 months. Yeah, you've been in this. I'm seeing the image of I'm seeing a few different things actually. I'm seeing a butterfly in a cocoon or a chrysalis, whatever. And it doesn't look like there's much going on, or maybe, I don't know what it feels like for the butterfly, but you know, it doesn't seem like there would feel like much going on or much changing, but then all of a sudden, boom, massive changes. I'm also seeing I'm seeing like a cake in the oven or something. This is really weird. Spirit's giving me really weird analogies. And you know, it's in there, it's not really doing much, doesn't look like it's doing much, but then you do eventually start to smell the difference, the cake being, ooh, it smells really good, it's almost done. And then, you know, you stick the toothpick in and pull it out, ooh, look, it's almost ready, like it's getting closer. And then you take it out and it's like, wow, look at this beautiful thing. You're in the figurative oven or the cocoon. Time for healing. And I see your comment about your 21-year-old keeps getting, my 21-year-old keeps getting into all sorts of trouble. I'm tired of stressing out over him. Let's see if we can get a message from Spirit regarding that situation. Because I could understand. I don't have children, but I could understand. I have been in the past very worried and stressed over loved ones that I thought were on maybe a path that wasn't very good for them. And so I understand how that feels. So let's just get a message from Spirit about that. Okay. And one more. Okay. Yeah, I see where Spirit is. They understand that you're struggling with this, and they're saying like it's okay that you feel stressed like this. And they're letting you know that it's okay to feel how you're feeling. that with your son, Ace of Wands, I'm seeing like he does have his own lessons to learn. There's something about this imagery of Aunt Gail like eating the fry and like the ketchup is everywhere and she's making a huge mess, but she's learning. Whereas Spirit's like, this is right now for, whatever reason, this is part of his curriculum where things are really messy, but he is learning lessons, and Spirit wants you to know he is learning from his mistakes and he's learning from the trouble he's getting into. Page of Swords. I do feel as though he will figure it out. But it's so hard to watch someone we love go through this, and we can't really do anything about it. But in the meantime, like, Spirit's also saying, like, you take care of you, we're taking care of him. He'll figure it out. He's got lessons to learn. He's learning. We understand that it's really difficult. It's really stressful, but they're saying still, like, you still need to prioritize your own healing. And maybe another thing that perhaps you feel like is being tested, with the commitment to yourself and your healing, and then all this other outside stress comes in and you're like, oh, well, why am I worrying about me? I should be worrying about him. Well, Spirit's like, we see that, but we're also taking care of him. We want you to take care of you and do what you can for yourself. Again, something about like he's learning. He will figure it out, but for right now, it's rough, but he is learning. It's messy, but he is learning some important life lessons. Okay, let's do some runes for you. We have Iwas rune. Again, that one came up earlier for someone else, but we have the Iwas rune again with EI. So that could be something, significant. A name could start with EI or have EI in it. Stability, patience, perseverance. I see this where Spirit is, this does tie into like your concerns with your son, where Spirit's like saying, like, they're not going to let him actually get irreparably harmed. Like, they're not going to let him get into trouble so deep that he can't come back from it. They're not going to let him get hurt in a way that he can't come back from. And there's something here about like, the patience and the perseverance, and it's like, keep loving him. And obviously, that's your child, and you're going to love him regardless, and that's not going to change. But Spirit's like, it's okay. Just like keep loving him. Sometimes you have to do it from afar even. And that's hard, especially when that is your family. Couldn't imagine what it would be like if that is your child that you have to kind of love from afar. But Spirit's like, that's okay. Just be patient. I love seeing this, that he will figure it out, and there's something about getting back on his feet. He will. But it's just, in the meantime, there's not a whole lot right now that you can do about it to change his situation, but to just kind of like trust Spirit that they're taking care of him. Trust that Spirit is taking care of him. And there's something about just like trusting the process right now, and just focus on yourself and your healing. And then the next one that we have is the Ingwas, and that's letter IG, or letters IG. So that could be something significant there. It's all about like internal growth. It reminds me of the Empress card in tarot, actually, where, it's like fertility, internal growth, like potential. Spirit's like, first of all, in you, what the new growth, it's that you coming to this point where you accept that you are dealing with these issues, but you have not become them, and they do not take over you and become you. And how that helps you to grow. It helps to bring about like just getting through those cycles and healing and enjoying life again. But then there's also this like something about like internal growth. Again, messages about your son here too. At least that Spirit's allowing me to get and to share with you. That like he's growing too. There's a lot happening, transforming within him that other people don't see, because from the outside, we don't get to see other people's inner transformation. Even the people that we may spend a lot of time around, sometimes we don't really see or experience what's going on in their inner world. But Spirit's saying there's growth there for him, and it's like it's okay. He's gonna come out of this stronger and like more mature. I'm seeing something about right now it's like he's still a boy, but he's going to come out of this cycle as like a wiser, stronger, more mature man, from boy to man kind of a thing. And it's part of the process. But I love seeing, I'm going to put these back though. I do love seeing how much of a transformation. Oh, I had 2 cards fall out at once, but I don't think our new moon and Libra card was really meant to be pulled. I didn't really get anything from that. Didn't even see that I'd pulled multiple. But anyway, I love seeing, it's great to see here that, yeah, you are transforming in such a way that these issues that you're struggling with that used to completely throw your life off and like really destroy you are now just visitors that pass through. And it just goes to show how much that you've like really have grown and healed, and how much Spirit is telling you you're going to continue to grow and heal. So that is the message I have for you, Imelda. And I really hope that was helpful. Next, we're going to go into our second last one, and that's for Tony H. And she was looking for messages from her guides and whether or not she was making progress. It's coffee time for me. The magic of, it's decaf, but the magic of making me feel like I'm doing something to kickstart my brain. All right. So for Tony, messages from her guides. Is she making progress? We're going to actually switch back to the One World Tarot for this one. Unless, Tony, you would like to use another deck. Like if you want to use the Bob's Burgers, absolutely. I'm feeling kind of guided to go back to the One World though. Messages from guides, and is she making any progress? First of all, just general message from guides. Something here about like, there's something, I was literally given the words small-minded people, or perhaps narrow-minded people. Don't let them like cause you to doubt yourself. Something about don't let these small-minded people cause you to become, I'm seeing something about double-minded, to like second guess yourself and to doubt yourself and your progress, because you are the one that's been on your journey this whole time, and you know what you're doing, and you know how your actions and your choices lately, like you know how they're going to come back around. You know what the effects are going to be. You know what the fruit of your hard work is going to be. I'm seeing here like you have now this could be work related, it could be not, but I'm just seeing here what I'm being shown is somebody has a really good idea for it could be like a project or a creative work or something, and they share the idea. But then we have these like narrow-minded and small-minded people who are like, I don't get it. Or like, that's dumb. Or like, well, that's not what I'm used to. It's not what I'm comfortable with, so it must not be very good. And then it causes you to, oh, well, was that maybe a good idea? Like, is anybody going to resonate with this? Again, like, I don't know why Spirit's giving me this example, okay? It is a little bit, maybe a little bit, like out there, but an image that I'm seeing or something here that I'm seeing is somebody pitching the pilot to a show to some executives. And I don't know if that's something you're actually doing or not, but what I'm seeing here is somebody has this good idea. It would be like hugely transformative either for the industry or for the public perception, or could have a huge like positive effect on people who maybe view this program. And the executives are like, yeah, but that's clever humor. It's not like obvious and in your face, and that makes me uncomfortable. And new ideas, that's not just a reboot of this 80s show or whatever. Again, that makes me uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar and it's unknown. And we don't know if it's going to pay off, but we know that this thing that we greenlit 40 years ago paid off. So I would rather, we reboot this instead of go with this original idea. And then the person who's pitching the pilot's like, oh, well, maybe this was, or like the humor or something is very nuanced. And these executives are like, well, nobody's going to get that. It's just going to go right over people's heads. Just because it went over the heads of these executives and they don't get it doesn't mean it's not funny. Doesn't mean it's not good. Doesn't mean it's not worth putting out there on TV for the public to see. Now, again, you may not be pitching the idea for a TV show to executives, but that it's that same energy though, where you're like, I'm going to do this. Or perhaps you have a plan for something you want to do in your life and you're like, I'm going to go do this. This is what I want and this is what I've been researching. And the people around you are like, I don't know about that. That's a risk. And well, that doesn't seem like that's, like you don't know if that's going to pay off, or like, these kind of small-minded people who are unable to sort of think outside of their own boxes. But well, I'm feeling really called to do this, or really guided to do this, and I think it's going to be really good for me in the future. There's going to be some kind of like amazing, like really good result. But then these people kind of get in your head and you're like, oh, well, I don't know, maybe I should play it safe. Spirit's saying don't let people don't let people's insecurities influence your bravery and your courage and your own like conviction and your desires to do things. Yeah, whatever it is, this like new idea or whatever it is that you have here, maybe people have tried to convince you to, oh, well, what, just don't do that. Like, it's safer and more predictable if you just stick with X, Y, and Z. Well, you actually start doing the research and start taking that more inspired action towards what you want to do, and you actually start seeing results. Or you start, something comes back to you that's relevant to this, whatever this idea or whatever it is that you want to do. And not only that, not only are you starting to see little results, or maybe people are showing interest in your idea, you will have support on top of that with that Two of Cups. I'm gonna just go ahead and clarify. Yeah, look at that strength card. I wanted to clarify Two of Cups and we got the strength. So there will be, you know, those people that are like, oh, I don't know, play it safe. And, well, I don't think that's going to work. Well, that's not something I would feel comfortable doing. So I don't know why you're doing it. Well, you got those people, but you're also going to start getting people around you that are like, hell yeah, do that. I wish I could have done that. Or like, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Or like, I will happily support you towards, you know, on your journey towards meeting your goals. Yeah, Spirit's saying there's no reason to second guess yourself and to doubt yourself, or to doubt your idea, whatever it is here that you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Let's see if there's any other messages. Oop, I just had some fall out here. What do we have? 2 fell out. We have 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so as you kind of stick to your guns here and be like, no, you know what? My idea, it was a good idea, and I think this will be right for me. And you know what? You guys might think that it's not going to be worth doing, or that's too big of a risk, or, you know, oh, other people aren't going to get it. Well, nuts to you, and if they don't get it, nuts to them. I'm going to keep doing it. Well, we did see here with that Two of Cups where you get the support, and it starts off quite small, but then the support, I think, grows a little bit stronger. It grows bigger, or grows stronger. Here's another example or analogy. Maybe it's not as big as pitching a show to a network, like what Spirit showed me before, but a person who starts a podcast, let's just say, and the people around them are like, oh, but that's so oversaturated. Everybody has a podcast. Like, what could you possibly have to offer that's different from what everyone else is offering? And like, you know, oh, but nobody's going to listen to it. No, nobody's going to like it or support it, and, you know, whatever. But then you're like, no, I'm going to still try this. I'm going to still do this. Well, you get a couple of listeners, right? And perhaps they turn into subscribers, and they become very loyal. And every time you post or create something or whatever, they are right there to comment and offer encouragement and support and be like, hey, that was awesome. I'm really glad you shared. Thank you for sharing. That support's going to grow because that community is going to grow. Maybe eventually they, like say you had like an affiliate link, or you had some kind of a sponsorship or something. They're like, you know what, to support this person, like, for example, let's just say like, oh, well, you know what, to support Tony and her podcast. Again, I don't know if you're starting a podcast or whatever, but you know what, I'm going to purchase something through her affiliate links that's going to support her. Or you know what, I'm going to like send I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to share the video, or I'm going to share the podcast, and then like other people are going to see it. And then it's sort of the support network like grows from there. Yeah, Big Steph gets it. They tell 2 friends, and then those 2 friends tell 2 friends, and the support grows and grows. And then, funny enough, those people at the start that were not very supportive to you, they kind of just fall away. They all of a sudden become very quiet. And they go from doubting you, or straight up like challenging you, or straight up just like trying to stop you, to all of a sudden they've settled down a bit. They've quieted down. Again, it doesn't have to be like a podcast or anything. It could just be like maybe you want to make some kind of a new change in your life, and at first people around you are not supportive, but then they see how you're not giving up on it or whatever just because of their words, and then they, you start getting the support, and then you make more and more progress, and then all of a sudden these critical voices, they all suddenly just magically are much quieter, and they kind of dissipate. Interesting how that happens. Anyway, let's pull a Moonology. Just extra advice. And to answer the question of, are you making progress? What I got from Spirit was like, you are always making progress. You are always progressing. And if you're worried about regressing or going like back into old cycles or old behaviors that no longer serve or whatever, Spirit's like, no, that's done. That's not going to come back and hurt you. You're not regressing. You actually just keep moving forward. So that's something they're saying, don't worry about that. You're always moving forward. Extra messages. Bring love into the situation. And then Spirit wants me to look at the bottom. The energy is gaining momentum. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, whatever it is, this idea that you have or this thing you're working on or this thing you're doing, like it's picking up speed. We saw that was going to happen with the little bit of support that turns into increased support. And then, you know, we had that strength card where you have like a community backing you or something like that. That energy is gaining momentum. And then we have bring love into the situation. So there's that love for yourself and allowing yourself to grow and allowing yourself to try these new things or to try whatever it is here, that idea that you had. But then there's also love, and this is going to sound weird, but for like those judging voices and those people who are doubting you. I think it just has to do with maybe having understanding, and it could be like if it's your family members or friends or someone that are like really doubting you, I think you're going to start to see it as, okay, well, you know what? Maybe they are just really concerned that this is not going to work out and that I may be disappointed or whatever. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily correct, right? So you can still have compassion for them while disagreeing with them. And then, yeah, just bringing love into the situation for yourself and being like, I deserve to have this that I desire. I deserve to put that work in. I deserve to have this support. I deserve to make this happen and make this work in my life. Runes. What do we have for runes? We have Sowilo. Looks kind of like a little, that's another one that looks like a lightning bolt. Yeah, Sowilo is the letter S. I had to go back and double check, but yes, Sowilo, letter S. S could be significant to you in some way. Maybe this like thing you're doing. Maybe there's something there that starts with the letter S. I do see something about Saturday. I mean, today is Saturday, but there could be something significant about Saturday and how that's maybe a significant day of the week for you. And it means sun. Goals achieved and victory and honor and good guidance is another thing with that Sowilo. So Spirit's like, you're on the right track. Spirit's been here helping you this whole time. They've been in your corner this whole time. They're here to support you with your goals. They're like, you are going to achieve this and we're here to help you. And they just want you to remember that you are supported and you are taken care of during this time. That they're not going to let you just, struggle and leave you, excuse me, I almost had a hiccup there. Leave you like floundering and being like, oh my God, what do I do next? What do I do? No. They're right there. They're like, okay, you got through that phase. Okay, that was pretty uncomfortable, but we're going to do a little bit of healing work. Now we're going to prep you for phase 2 of whatever it is that you're doing. And it just continues. They're like, you got our support. And it's funny because like, I'm being reminded of, I don't know where in the Bible it's from. I cannot remember. And I don't even really study the Bible or Christianity or anything like that much anymore. But I'm being reminded of, it goes, if God is with you, who could be against you? Right? So like when you have God in your corner, when you got the support of spirit there in your corner, who could possibly stop you? Not these small, narrow minds and their opinions and their insecurities that they're projecting onto you. They can't stop you. So that is the message that I have for you, Tony. So best wishes for whatever it is that you're going ahead with, that you've been thinking about, or, you know, that you have an idea for. It seems like it's going to work, and you're going to have a lot of support from people, but you have the ultimate support from spirit. So we're going to put these back, and we're going to go into our last one of the stream, and that's for Barbara. And Barbara was looking for messages from her spiritual team. Now, Barbara, if you are still in the chat, if you have a preference which deck you'd like to use, just let me know. I'm going to stretch my back. My back has been really sore today for no reason. I'm going to stretch that. Take a minute here. I have another little bit of my coffee. No preference, says Barbara. Then we're going to do the Bob's Burgers Tarot. All right, so messages for Barbara from her spirit team, her spirit guides, from her angels, from her ancestors if they have messages. Let's see. Messages for Barbara. Oh. We're going to actually put those back, and if they come out again, then awesome. But I'm going to put those back and just shuffle a little bit more. This deck is just so, I love it too. Somebody sent it to me in the mail, and I never actually did figure out who, but I'm pretty sure it was Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice. I'm pretty sure it was him, and if it wasn't, then, you know, oops. But, yeah, I got this deck. I think they sent it to me a couple years ago, and I've just been so in love with this deck ever since. Like, it is just, it's great. I love it. Yes, the colors. I love the colors too. And the artist, the person who created the deck, actually did a pretty good job emulating that Bob's Burgers animation style. They did a pretty good job with that. Anyway, messages from Barbara. For Barbara, from Barbara. For Barbara, from her spirit team. Oh, I mean, we could be getting messages from your higher self too, Barbara. So you know what? We'll keep that in mind. Okay. All right. That's a reversal. Our first reversal in the whole stream. Look at that. Okay, we're actually going to start with just these three, and then we'll go from there. We'll build from there. Ace of Wands, I'm seeing this along with our reversed Four of Wands. I'm getting the words bit by bit. There's a game I used to play when I was a little child called Lego Island. And there's a song from the game called Brick by Brick. And Spirit just often reminds me of song lyrics and pop culture and things like that to help illustrate the point they're making, perhaps in a way that I can understand and interpret. There's a line in that Brick by Brick song that says, "You can build a mountain if you do it brick by brick." And I'm seeing here, Ace of Wands whatever, there's some progress in an area of your life that has been just little bits at a time. And perhaps you were expecting more progress. Perhaps you were expecting to see more changes a lot sooner than how they've been presenting. And so there's like maybe a voice in the back of your head that's going, well, this isn't working then. It's not worth it. Well, I'm not getting as much progress as I want or as I was expecting. Well, then there must be something wrong with me. But Spirit's saying that's not true. And we have that here with our Seven of Swords, that being the deceiver kind of card. Now, I don't know if this is your situation exactly, but Spirit wants me to give the example of a person who started exercising and has started perhaps going to the gym and making adding healthier things to their routine because they are trying to lose some weight. Again, like I said, not necessarily what is going on with you, but it's just an analogy that Spirit's giving me. And maybe, this person's friend was like, well, you know what? I started doing Pilates and I got really strong and all of this weight just melted off. Or I started doing keto, or I, quit eating gluten, or whatever it is, right? And I saw this progress happen really quickly. And then, this person goes, okay, well, I'll try it too. And maybe they were expecting to lose 4 pounds each week from whatever new routine or whatever they're doing. But instead of 4, they're actually only seeing maybe 1 dropping off each week every time they check in. That total just only goes down by 1 when they were expecting it to go down by more. So then they are discouraged and saying to themselves, well, this isn't working. This is bullshit. This just isn't for me. I guess I just can't lose weight. I just can't get strong muscles. Maybe it's not about weight. Maybe it's about muscles. Maybe it's, or whatever. It doesn't even have to be about any of that at all. It's just, again, the example that Spirit's giving. It's not true. Just because the progress is slow doesn't mean that it's worthless. Or some people maybe trying to build up their finances or have some kind of like passive income or something. They're like, well, I thought I was going to be making an extra $20 a week from this thing, but I'm only making like 5 or 10 this week. Just like I was expecting so much more to happen early on and all at once, but it's only this little bit. What is going on? What is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your progress. I'm being reminded of, it's ancient Chinese, could be Buddhist wisdom, but you guys have heard this before. I'm having a brain fart, and the person the quote is from, I can't remember, but it does not matter how slow you're going as long as you do not stop. That's what the proverb, I think it is technically. That's what that quote is. It doesn't matter how long you're going or how long it takes and how slow you're going, as long as you do not stop. Progress is progress. The only time in which it ended up being bullshit and not working out is if you give up. Or you're forcing yourself to do something that perhaps isn't healthy for you or safe or working for you, in which case it doesn't mean that you were never going to have progress. It just means you needed to change your approach a little bit. Let's get more advice from Spirit. Yeah, exactly. And Big Steph says 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still 1 step forward, and that is progress. Ten of Cups, where, again, I don't know in which area of your life it is where you are expecting and hoping to see all this progress, but I see where perhaps you've become very distraught and disillusioned with the journey that you've been on. Could be like a health journey too. Well, how come I'm not better yet? I've made this change and this change, but I still don't feel better. Spirit understands, and I'm seeing that. They're like, that's totally valid. It is 100% okay to feel upset or disappointed in slow progress, especially if we've been built up to expect more or expect like instant results. Wheel of Fortune. We saw this in like one of the previous readings with Imelda's reading on how the wheel is just going to keep turning anyway, right? The progress is going to, it's going to keep moving. The wheel might be moving quite slowly, but it is still moving. We can, I'm getting something about like grieving the illusion or the expectation or the image we've set in our minds for what we expected to happen. We can grieve that, but it also just doesn't mean that we need to stay stuck there, because that wheel's always going to keep turning. It's going to keep moving. Our progress is going to continue at the pace that it's going at, no matter how we feel about it. Let's see what else we can get. So progress is progress. You can build a mountain if you do it brick by brick. So you can build a mountain or you can move a mountain. Either way, if you do it brick by brick is how the song goes. Page of Swords. I'm going to pull one more. Hangman. Interesting. Maybe being stuck in this like mindset of, why am I not receiving this faster? Why did, whatever it is, why did Bethany, I don't know who Bethany is, we're just using names now. Well, why did Bethany get that result in 2 months and it's taken me 6 months to get to where she was in only 2 months? Or, you know, like, why, how come it seems so easy for everyone else, but it's not easy for me? Why is it so hard for me? That kind of thinking. This could be contributing to, there's this hangman, this delay in seeing, or this delay in like really honestly appreciating the results of the work that you've been putting in. I have here Queen of Wands. It's like, you are good enough. You are deserving of this growth, this progress that you're hoping to see, and that has been slowly, you know, making itself known to you. You are wholly worthy and deserving of it. And the work that you've been putting in, it is worth it. It's reflective of how determined you are, and that strength of character, your strength of character. See if there's anything else we can get from the tarot here for Barbara. With the slow progress, the bit by bit, or the brick by brick. Interesting. Again, we did see here where Spirit is validating the feelings of frustration and disappointment, but they're also saying, you don't need to be stuck there. They're saying for you to have compassion for yourself and to extend to yourself the grace that you would extend to, say you had a best friend that was in your same situation. What would you say to that person? whatever it is that you would say to that person, that love and that empathy and that grace that you would extend to them, you are just as worthy of extending that grace to yourself and that encouragement to yourself. I see something here over the next 6 months with the Six of Cups. You'll start to see, I think the progress picks up a little bit over the next 6 months of whatever it is, again, with this goal that you have, this progress that you're trying to see. And I think what helps to sort of jumpstart this increased, seeing results and stuff is letting go of this mindset. I pick up that you've been comparing your journey to other people who have been on a similar journey to you. You've been comparing your experience to theirs and wondering why you don't exactly line up with your story doesn't really fully line up with theirs, or why you're not getting the exact same results on the exact same timeline. And Spirit's just saying this is just the way that it is. Their timeline, for whatever reason, they saw their results and their progress in the timeline that they did because that's what was best for them in their situation. And that's just how their situation worked out. Your situation and your progress, this is just how it's working out for you. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be worth it. It doesn't mean that you're wasting your time, your energy, or your effort. It's just the way that your progress is looking right now. And Spirit's saying, and that's okay. And I think maybe perhaps once you get to that acceptance of, it may be 2 steps forward and 1 step back, you get to that acceptance of, well, that's still 1 step forward. Then perhaps you start noticing you're doing 3 steps forward with 1 back. That's still 2 steps forward, which is more progress than what you had done initially. And you start to maybe see that come up more and more as time goes on. We're going to do a Moonology card for you. Oh, hello, Candy. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, I just saw 2:22:22 on the timer here on the camera. I love seeing that. 2:22:22, 2:22:22. So that again could be something significant there for you with all the 2s. Moonology for you, Barbara. Okay, don't let your past hold you back. We have here with South Node. Maybe this is something you did before, that you worked towards before and achieved the goal very quickly in the past, where this time around it's taking you longer. You don't need to let your past experience dictate the way that your current experience is going and the way in which you perceive your growth and your goals being achieved here. And then now, because we did see where the progress does pick up a little more over the next 6 months, the memory of where maybe you're at now, where things are slow and feel frustrating, to not let that hold you back in the future when the progress starts picking up the pace. Again, there's this huge theme here, overarching theme or message here of not comparing yourself and your journey to anybody else's. Because your progress is still progress, even though it might look different from somebody else's. Or you might get the results, maybe a little bit, maybe it takes a little longer for you to get the result that somebody else got, instantaneously are much quicker. We're going to do some runes, volume warning. We have the Gable rune, and it is the letter G, although this does look like an X. So perhaps there's something significant, you know, could be about the letter X or the Roman numeral 10. There could be something significant about that, maybe 10. Anyway, Gable rune, gift. There's some type of, and this is what I'm getting from Spirit, is that there's some kind of blessing, some kind of gift that is on its way to you. You know, perhaps the gift could be the seeing the more progress in the future. The gift could be releasing this desire to compare yourself, or releasing like that need, that compulsion to do it. You know, that gift could be that kind of shift in perspective. I want to know more, Spirit, about this gift, because they want to bless you. Let's just get a little clarification on how they wish to bless you. What is this gift with that Gable rune? Okay, temperance, healing, patience. You know what? The progress. Okay, this is big. This is huge. I see why the progress is taking longer for you than it maybe would have taken for someone else. There's something here about there's a kind of healing that needs to take a little bit of time. There's also something about like the slow and steady progress seems to stick around. Those results seem to last longer and have a stronger effect than if you were to instantaneously achieve what it was that you wanted. Again, I'm going to just jump back to the analogy of a person trying to lose weight. Sometimes you can do the grapefruit thing, like I guess in the olden days, they had the grapefruit diet or the cabbage soup diet. And like, sure, you might lose a bunch of water weight. And, you know, in 6 weeks, there could be a significant loss there. But what happens when they go back to eating normally? All of that weight comes right back. Sometimes all of that and then some. And then it's a cycle, and they're stuck in that cycle of doing that over and over and over. But they don't show you the part where they get stuck in the cycle of doing it over and over. All they show to the outside world is, I did this for 6 weeks and lost 20 pounds. Or, you know, whatever, right? Whereas slower progress with this seems to have like a longer lasting benefit, where maybe you're working on things. I think there's something being worked on at like a foundational level. And that, for some reason, is causing this progress to take longer. But the gift is the longer journey, because what comes with the longer journey is longer lasting results. And that's what Spirit wants to show you is the gift here. Again, it doesn't have to be with weight loss or anything like that. This can apply to so many different situations in life. But yeah, there's just something about maybe it takes a little while longer, but the quality is better. Or like something takes a little longer, but your quality of life is much better because of the long time of work that you've had to put in. Okay, so this is what I have for you. Now we are at 2.5 hours. I did get to the end of the queue, and I think this is where I'm ready to sort of cap off all the readings. So for those of you, okay, so Barbara says you're making notes for a novel. That's exciting. That is awesome. But for those of you who did join the stream perhaps late and didn't get a chance to receive a reading, don't worry, because I do come back every Saturday. Sometimes it'll be a Sunday if I need to rearrange my schedule, but I will be back weekly for these kinds of streams. If you wanted, you can always book with me. I do have the booking link in the description of this stream and my other videos as well. That's calendly.com/wildrosetc. And we can always set aside some time to talk and do readings and spend an hour. The readings I do are an hour long normally for personal readings or private readings. And we can go so much more in depth than we'd be able to do here on stream. Anyway, to the rest of you guys who have been watching, thank you so much for your support, for watching my videos and my streams, for participating in the chat, for all the ways in which you show me the support that you show. It means a lot. I do have that new pick a card reading. It is out. It is the 2025 love predictions. Apparently, when you record something in really high quality, it takes a long time to upload to YouTube. I had to leave my computer on all night to do that. So it is finally up. You can go and see the video for yourself in the community section on my channel. I do have a post for it with a link to that video, the love predictions for 2025, if that is something you want to go ahead and check out. Otherwise, I have all kinds of other videos and content on this channel that you are absolutely free to go through and enjoy and do, whatever you want with. All right. So I'm going to take off. I hope the rest of you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are, the rest of your weekend, and best wishes for you guys for the week ahead, for much healing, much peace, and much love. Okay. All right, guys. See ya.